Hello, big riggers. Thanks for joining me, Jim Campbell, as we talk all things trucking. Today, we're going to discuss an important new law that just took effect in the state of Georgia that could impact anyone living in or driving through the state of Georgia and is involved in a trucking accident. If you're a truck driver, work for a trucking company, or just drive on Georgia roads, this video is for you. We're talking about Georgia Senate Bill 426, a new law that changes how and who you or your lawyer can file a lawsuit against and take to court after an accident involving a truck. Let's break it down in simple terms so everyone can understand. Please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell below. Also, please leave me a comment about your thoughts about this new Georgia law. If there is a topic you would like me to discuss in a future video, please leave me a comment about that. So you ask, exactly what is Georgia Senate Bill 426 and what does it do? On March 18, 2024, the Georgia General Assembly passed Senate Bill 426. This bill changes two important laws in Georgia that impact who can be sued in accidents involving the trucking industry. The big news is that it limits when a lawyer can directly sue the insurance company of a motor carrier instead of first seeking compensation from the trucking company involved or the driver responsible for the accident. The bill passed overwhelmingly in the Georgia State House of Representatives by a margin of 172 votes for and 0 against. In the Georgia State Senate, the bill passed by a tally of 46 votes for and 2 against. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed the bill into law on May 6, 2024, and the law took effect on July 1, 2024. Kemp has said he wants to make it harder for people to file frivolous lawsuits and win big legal judgments. He has said Georgia's high insurance rates are among the harms caused by such lawsuits. Besides truckers, owners of commercial properties and apartments have also been seeking limits, saying they are getting unfairly sued by lawyers when third parties do wrong on their property. So what was the old law in Georgia and why was the law changed? Before this new law, if you were in an accident involving a truck, your lawyer could skip over filing a lawsuit against the trucking company or the driver of the truck. Instead, the lawyer could sue the insurance company directly with the hope of getting a much larger monetary verdict via the jury award. This, of course, meant that the lawyer didn't have to go through the proper channels of direct responsibility by suing the trucking company or the driver first, and could go directly after the insurance company first, who in essence is a third party that had nothing to do with the accident itself. This was known as a direct action, and it made it easier for lawyers and accident victims to get larger settlements and compensation from the much deeper pockets of insurance companies. So what does the new law change? Starting July 1st, 2024, the rules for being able to directly sue an insurance company instead of first filing suit against the trucking company or driver have changed. With the new law in place, you or your lawyer can only sue the insurance company first if the trucking company is bankrupt or insolvent, or if you or your lawyer can't find the truck driver or the trucking company. So, in other words, this new law puts the onus on the lawyers to go after the trucking company or the driver responsible for the accident first. So why did this change happen? Supporters of this new Georgia law say the change was necessary in order to lower insurance rates for trucking companies. The thought process is fewer lawsuits against insurance companies will mean lower insurance costs for trucking companies. In the big picture, this law could be a big help, and especially so for smaller trucking companies or owner-operators. By not allowing lawyers to go directly after the insurance companies first, the hope is this will prevent the unusually high monetary verdicts that today's juries increasingly hand out. Some believe that direct lawsuits against insurance companies aren't always fair. If truth be known, in a lot of cases, it's the lawyers that drum up the various and often frivolous lawsuits with the hope of getting a huge payout themselves by pocketing upwards of 40% of the settlement. Therefore, by limiting these lawsuits, we could see more balanced and sensible monetary verdicts. Georgia's Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones said, "The passage of this legislation was desperately needed in order to get Georgia's business community the relief it needs." So what are the arguments against the law change? Not everyone is happy about the new law. Critics say not being able to go directly after insurance companies first could mean less compensation for victims. They also say it could be harder for accident victims to get the money they deserve for medical bills, lost wages, and other expenses. Critics also cite safety concerns, saying with less financial pressure on insurance companies, they might not be as strict in ensuring that trucking companies follow safety rules. Since 1937, Georgia had allowed direct lawsuits against insurance companies for truck accidents. Only 3 other states, Kansas, Louisiana, and Wisconsin, had similar laws. Changing this long-standing law is a big deal, and many worry it might hurt accident victims more than it helps the trucking industry. As mentioned, Georgia was one of only 4 states that allowed plaintiffs to file suit and seek damages directly from the trucker's insurance company. That has led to large jury verdicts and settlements and has caused many insurance carriers to raise rates or cancel coverage. An assistant to the Georgia Insurance Commissioner said in January that the current law has all but destroyed the insurance market for trucking companies, many of which are small businesses. The old law came about as a way to allow injured parties to be made whole if the trucking company owner or operator could not be located. But transport companies and insurers have said the law is unnecessary in today's online world, where truckers can be tracked down through the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration or through any one of the government databases. Georgia is now one of 47 states that have passed laws to limit frivolous lawsuits filed by lawyers against insurance companies. Meanwhile, proponents of the new law say it's the lawyers that are really pissed off about this, mainly because this new law will cut into the lawyer's share of any huge settlement reached against the insurance companies. So what impact will we see on Georgia's roads? Critics of the new law, which are basically comprised of trial lawyers, say the new law might affect road safety. The lawyers' reasoning is that with insurance companies less likely to face direct lawsuits, they might not push trucking companies as hard to follow safety standards. This could potentially make the roads more dangerous. To me, it sounds like the lawyers are simply grasping at straws. So what does this mean for you as a driver? If you're a truck driver or own a trucking company, this new law should lower your insurance costs. And contrary to the concerns of trial lawyers, trucking companies and truck drivers are still required to follow all federal motor carrier safety rules, laws, and regulations to avoid accidents. Here are my final thoughts. The true impact of this new law will become clear over time. Will it help lower insurance rates and make it easier for small trucking companies to do business? Or will it make it harder for accident victims to get fair compensation? One thing is for sure, with Georgia now changing their law, the Peach State has joined 47 other states with regard to the way they are limiting who and when trial lawyers can sue and make money, and that simple fact has trial lawyers in Georgia upset. If you're involved in a trucking accident, it's important to understand these new rules. If you have any questions or concerns, it might be a good idea to talk to a lawyer who specializes in these kinds of cases. However, don't forget to inquire about what percentage of the settlement goes to the lawyer. I am sure the answer will be an eye-opening experience for you. Thanks for tuning in to my breakdown of the new Georgia law. This is a big change for the state of Georgia and affects the bottom line of trucking companies that operate within the state. It also affects any trucking company or truck driver involved in an accident in the Peach State. It's important for everyone to stay informed about issues that involve the trucking industry. If you found this video helpful or have any questions, please make sure to leave me a comment. Also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on important laws and how they affect you. If there's another topic you'd like me to cover, please leave me a comment about that. Take care. Thanks a lot. Remember, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell below.